Hello, Sugo gamers out there. This is Arc3 giving you another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. And today we'll be starting the GAC Replay series. So let's get right into it. So before we get started, I would like to introduce myself. So again, I am Arc3. I've been playing this game for the past 3 years, actually more than 3 years already. But I stopped between June 2020 up to March 2021 this year, and I just returned to the game around April 2021. Now, for this series, the GAC Replay series, since this is episode 1, if there are like suggestions or like feedback for me so that we can improve this replay analysis in the future, please do so in the comments below. This video is meant to like help, or like this series is actually meant to help GAC players improve over time, or like those like casual GAC players, hardcore, whatever GAC player you are, learn something and then hopefully apply it to your own GAC as well. So let's get to the video. So this replay is actually done around August 16, 2021, and this is before the nerfs. And my opponent here is actually, well, if you've seen the thumbnail and the title, my opponent, Boinksque, I'm sorry if I butchered your name, but he has an SLKR in his defense right now. And for me, I only have a GAS team. So I don't have SLKR, I don't have any Galactic Legends. So let's go through my defense. So here I have a Padme, Grievous, and First Order. Well, First Order defense. And then he was not able to clear my top wall, but he had like difficulty going through my first bottom wall, and he one-shotted everything in my back wall in the bottom. And then on the top, I've been experimenting like Poggle, Asajj, because this is like something Zereth promoted. So I was like trying it out, and it worked wonders for this battle. And I will now like discuss how will we beat this SLKR team, but it's not what you expect, because since I don't have a counter, and I believe that moving forward, most of the free-to-play players don't have a counter to SLKR, especially between the 2 to 4M bracket. So alternatively, this is what we will be doing. And before we like continue, just a quick feedback to all of you guys. Please do not do this. Never miss out on putting your defense, because by missing one team here, you effectively lost 82 banners already. But if you're asking me, Arc3, isn't that like good for me, since even if I lose, let's say 82 banners, I stop my opponent from getting a like free battle or free win from me? Well, yeah, but the problem is you're still losing 82 banners, and in terms of attacking banners, I only lost like 54. So there's like a net loss for you around 28 banners for 3v3. So as much as possible, always have a full defense, even if the front wall is like, or this team is like all level 1. Doesn't matter. What matters is having a full defense, because you're getting the most points out of it. So now let's go through the attack. And the first battle, I believe, is Kylo Ren Unmasked versus my Resistance. So I just used a pretty standard Resistance team here. So it's JTR, 3PO, and of course BB-8. And it was like pretty straightforward battle for me. So I opened up with special, and then I just removed the taunt, but I aim for Executioner first, simply because he's the one dealing the most damage in this team. So nothing much to discuss here, but I just like to like show in terms of when you're going to your 3v3 or 5v5 battles, know who you need to target first, and ignore like the secondary targets. So if there's a heavy damage dealer, as much as possible, you take him out first, or her, and then you take out the tank last. But there are some cases where you have to take out the tank first, simply because they have like a continuous pre-taunt, or you need to get him out so that you can get to the rest of the team. But that's like very niche scenarios, and most of the time you have to take out the attackers or like stop the tank from taunting. So this is a win for me. I believe I got 53, 54 banners. I forgot already. This is like 2 weeks ago before the nerfs. And yeah, pretty straightforward. So let's move to the next battle. So I went top. Let's go there. I went top simply because we can't deal with the SLKR. And my next battle here, I believe, was against the Geonosian team. So a bit overkill. I used the Sith Empire team versus the Geonosian team simply because I just want a comfortable like win against my opponent team, as we can't get through the SLKR anyway. So as much as possible, we have to be efficient in our offense. And since they like messed up or wasn't efficient in their own offense, so we have like so much room for flexibility in terms of in our attacks. So for this battle, it was a quick win. And the next battle, I'm not sure which I clicked, but let's see. But I used my 501st team there against the Jedi Knight Revan team. So again, quick wins simply because the goal here is not to defeat the SLKR team at the bottom, but the goal here is just to be a better, efficient attacker versus your opponent. So for those who don't have counters to 3v3 SLKR, especially that the nerfs are already in the game, it's better to like place a defense where your opponent can like beat, or if you have a counter, you can like fight him or fight the SLKR, but make sure you can get the win. Otherwise, you just do an efficient offense on your end. And that efficient offense would guarantee you the win. But again, you have to be sure, or like you have to check your opponent's roster simply because that would give you like the um, information that you need to plan out your offense and defense. So I lost this battle because I underestimated that Relic 3 Veteran smuggler. So I used my like backup team to clean up. But anyway, so the only caveat I would like to give you guys in this analysis in my GAC is that this would work, like evading the SLKR team bottom would work if your opponent, or like in this case, don't have a stack roster. So what do I mean by a stack roster? So a stack roster means that he has SLKR, but he also has Gas, also has Jedi Knight Luke, all of the other legendary teams. I was just a bit fortunate here, or a bit lucky, that when I scouted my opponent, apologies for not showing the roster of my opponent, but when I scouted his teams, I noticed that the first 20 characters, like the relic characters, are mostly geared towards SLKR and not much on the other like important characters like Jedi Knight. Well, he has a Jedi Knight Relic 5. Sorry. He has a Relic 5 Jedi Knight Revan, but for Darth Revan, Padme, CLS, they're not Relic, so they're like at the bottom, like middle bottom or upper bottom. So that already gave me an idea that he won't be able to like counter my defense if I place like a Padme or a Darth Revan or something else, which he will have difficulty in. So if you notice in the earlier part of the video, I put like a Padme team there. That's because I want him to like struggle in clearing out my um first first zone, bottom zone, and hopefully that would like take away teams that he would be using for other matchups, and that would like be in my favor. So this is again what I've been like, and well, this is what I mean by mixing up your offense and defense. So video somewhere in the top here or somewhere about that. by mixing up your defense and offense based on what your opponent has, you have like a better chance of winning and hopefully get to Kyber. So this is what I did in my championship match back in August 16. So let's go back to the video. So here I just use my Jedi Revan. And then again, a very straightforward win. So not much to discuss because this is very comfortable win for me. So let's just play through the video and keep discussing the topic at hand. So in case you have a matchup where you both have stacked rosters, it's just a matter of efficiency already in placing the defense and offense. Certainly, there would be like chinks in the armor on the opposite side. So it's a matter of identifying those small weaknesses and exploiting them to your advantage. So if it means improving your fleet, do so. If it means improving certain characters to bolster your defense, do so. If it means improving like your offense by relicking certain characters, please do so. We have like a day before each lock-in period or a week before the next season. So that gives us a lot of time to prepare for our defense and offense, as well as planning out what would be the certain matchups and strategies we will be using for um, for that current season or for the current meta. Meta changes every month simply because we have new characters. So it's important to be aware of the 3v3 and 5v5 matchups. And that is where like Zereth and all Cubs actually videos would help because they put out a lot of videos regarding the top characters and the top um, teams for GAC. And now going back to the video, this is again very straightforward already. I think after this battle, and after clearing this zone, I've already won the match. So not much to discuss. I think for misplace, maybe I should have like kept the Plo Koon ship. Like maybe I shouldn't have fielded it, but I fielded it simply because I wanted to have like max banners in terms of health and protection. And in this battle, I believe I did 2 or 3. I don't recall anymore. But the point is maybe I could have like just fielded 3 of the Geonosians and then um like get as much banners as possible. But then again, if I don't like put in reinforcement slots, maybe like in if things go sideways, I have like that extra insurance for me to have banners. But then it's your call during your GAC. So always like think or analyze what type of ships you will be fielding and what like should I put in a reinforcement or not. That should always be in your like thought process. So I won 59 banners, and at this point I already won the match. And just to like end or like close this video, for those who have Galactic Legends, it's important to know what your strengths and weaknesses are, because if you do like a Galactic Legend rush and your roster isn't like that stacked, so that's like an opportunity for the opposing team who has a better roster to like go around your SLKR. So my advice for those who have like rushing GLs is that always use your Galactic Legends for offense rather than defense, simply because you're at a roster disadvantage. However, if you have like the roster advantage simply because you have SLKR, then it's fine for putting him on defense. And for those who have like counters to SLKR, I believe the only counter so far is the Jedi Knight Revan and JKL combo. So if you have like that counter, then you can like defeat the SLKR. But if you don't have that counter, then it's better to like just avoid the SLKR and place your toughest defense on the zones where your opponent will get the max banner. So for 3v3, it's the bottom zone. That's why I prioritize like my defense on the bottom, so that the opponent would have a struggle or will be struggling getting banners from me. So that's all actually for today's video. If you have like comments or feedback on how to improve, please let them know below. And if you enjoyed and liked this video, please, of course, give this a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this. And to all swgoh gamers out there and players, may the force be with you and have a great weekend. Bye, guys.